Hello, artists. We're going to create our two value scales together. Remember, value is the lightness and darkness or shades in a composition. So I want you to get your tools. I want you to work along with me in this video, and feel free to pause the video at any time so we can still work together and you can catch up if needed. First, count down 3 spirals and make a straight horizontal line. I would use a tool. And then you're going to count down 3 more spirals and make a second horizontal line. Lastly, you're going to divide up those 2 rows into 3 columns. All right, so we're going to leave that first value scale empty or negative because we want that white value. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with my pencil. I'm using my sketching pencil right here because it's already going to shade really lightly. And you can see that I'm edging out that rectangle using those circular blending motions. I like to hold my pencil on its side so I don't see any of those little sketchy marks. You really need to make sure that you blend out the edge first. I don't want to see those sketchy marks. So what I'm going to do is use the side of my pencil. You can see how I'm holding my pencil to make it more comfortable. And I'm blending in circular motions. You should be doing this now with me. So you can see that it's going to take a little while to blend away all of those little sketchy marks. That's why we're using those circular motions. So you should be filling in your light gray value now with me using your sketching pencil. You can also see that I'm going back to previously shaded areas and I'm trying to blend away any sketchy little marks that I see. This is the key for good craftsmanship, using those circular motions. You can also see here that because I saw some sketchy marks going one way, I changed the direction of my shading in the opposite way, almost perpendicular. And what this does is that helps blend away any of those little sketchy marks. Okay, I'm going to switch out my sketching pencil now to just like a regular writing pencil. I'm doing this because I know that that lead is going to be a little bit darker, so I don't have to press super duper hard to get a darker value. Just apply a little bit more pressure. And you can see here, I'm following that same process of edging out my rectangle first. This is going to help you create just like a clean shape. And then you're going to blend that darker gray pencil in those circular motions so we have a solid shade. Follow this technique for good craftsmanship every time because you know if we're going to make something, we're going to do it the right way. All right. Please make sure that you pause this video at any time you need to catch up. That is totally fine. But right now, what I'm doing is I'm in my third box in our value scale. You can see that we're getting gradually darker here. And I'm still using that same blending technique with my pencil, so I have 0 streaks. The only difference here is I'm applying a little bit more pressure. So it's really important once you're done blending all of your pencil out, do your squint test. Can you squint at your 3 values and see a difference? If you can, you know you did it right. I want to give you some choice here. So for our second value scale, we are going to switch out our pencil and we're going to use pen and ink. You can see that I first left the first box negative or empty because I want to see that white value. Now what I'm doing is I'm making parallel lines all going the same direction side by side. And this shading with lines is called hatching. Now what I don't want to see is a bunch of lines going in all different directions. That just makes us dizzy. It looks a hot mess. Don't do that. Make sure that your lines are parallel. All right, back to the value scale. I have my white value, I have my medium gray value. Now I'm going to do my darkest value. I forgot to put a piece of paper underneath my pen and ink, so make sure you do that. All right, so I'm going to make my parallel lines, my hatches, that's what they're called, I'm gonna make my hatching a little bit closer, just doing my best to make those straight lines all going the same direction. Filling that in. Now I need to see the squint test. I don't know about you, but I don't see enough of a difference there. So what I'm doing now is something called cross hatching. This is just adding more lines over top of those previous hatches with perpendicular lines, literally crossing my hatch marks. So if I do that, then I should be able to squint and see a difference. I'm good.